everybody. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Sadie Has Friends. That's right. I slipped it in there, a brand new name. New year, new me. I know we're a little bit early, but it's fine. Before we get started with today's episode, which I'm so excited for you to hear, I want to remind you to hit that automatic download, or if you're watching on the YouTube channel, go ahead and click that subscribe. That way you're able to be updated anytime there's new content or bonus content that comes out. So before we get started again, I have to thank the amazing folks at Garage Door Service and Sales, garagedoorserviceandsales.com. If you're like me, I love going onto Pinterest and I love Pinteresting things that I just think, damn it, I need this for my home. And you know what? Like once you get started down this Pinterest rabbit hole with garage doors, it just becomes this like unhealthy addiction. And before you know it, you're dreaming about garage doors. I'll tell you my dream: matte black with a little bit of glass, but still like classic, sleek, clean. No matter what you're looking for, you can get it at Garage Door Service and Sales, locally owned and operated, family owned and operated. Go see my friend Patrice, garagedoorserviceandsales.com. I'll explain it to you. Okay, so a psychic vampire. First of all, I have to start by saying thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I was just telling Steph that Friday for the interview series, I had a woman reach out to me, and she had a psychic awakening when she was in her 20s, which I'm like, what is that even about? I didn't even know. I guess it's like an allergy where it could just hit you at any age. So she had this like psychic awakening, and then she talked about like being a vampire, and I'm like, well, shit. 1 + 1 equals yes, I would love to listen to you. She's like, so if you're interested in hearing about that, and it was interesting to hear her talk about it. That's airing on Friday. A psychic vampire. I don't know. People just reach out to me, and I just listen to what they have to say. And there were some points that she kind of made.
I will be listening because I'm curious on how one discovers the desire of sucking blood. That's a vampire, right?
Known, yeah, but she's a psychic vampire. She's a psychic vampire, Stephanie. She's not like a vampire. And I'm not I can't go into it. I can't go into it.
Okay,
you have to listen on Friday to the because today we have to talk to Dr. G, Misty Gemstone. We have to talk to her because it is Tell All Tuesday, and every Tuesday Stephanie and I like to join force. Well, see, I got to call you Dr. G. Dr. G and I, or Misty, as her friends call her, we ask people, like, write in if you have any issues and you need some advice. Now, I give horrible advice, always do the opposite of what I do. But Stephanie now, this girl, she knows her shit. She went to school. She's got all kinds of certificates on the wall. It's fine. I have a neon light that I bought at Etsy and whatever. But we ask people to write in, whether it's like a friendship issue or a relationship issue, parenting, whatever it is. So are you ready, Stephanie, for Tell All Tuesday? Which I need to mention that I do post the Tell All Tuesdays a week in advance. So you have plenty of time to go on to all social media formats, especially Facebook. That's the best because the comments are easy to kind of get. And there were a lot of comments today. So every Tuesday.
I'm excited.
Yeah, every Tuesday, be sure to let us know what you think, and then we'll record it and we'll maybe read your comment. So here's Tell All Tuesday. It says, Dear Dr. G, I have a 2-year-old. I've never asked my mother-in-law to babysit because since my daughter could open her eyes, she just screamed bloody murder. Now, this is going to be a twisty one, Stephanie, because you're smiling like adormsies.
I'm here.
It's going to get not good. Okay. Your camera's frozen a little. I'm just going with it, but I don't care.
I'm staring at myself frozen. But I'm still here.
But you look good. Usually when I freeze, it's so awful. I just want to run away. Oh yes, and if you'd like to watch full video episodes, be sure to check out the YouTube channel. Okay, so anyway, she writes in, she says she has a 2-year-old. She has never had her mother-in-law watch the 2-year-old because the baby just hated her from day one. She says it's gotten better, but my daughter won't even let me leave the room when the mother-in-law is around, which I find this odd because, you know, kids are weird, but then they grow out of it eventually, you know? So anyway, she says she has not only one question, but she has 2. And so she needs your help, Dr. G. Even though you are still frozen. It's hard to talk. It's like talking to a picture of you.
I know.
Can you make the occasional like sound so I know you're there, Misty?
I'm trying to see if I turn my camera off if I'll come back on. But it's not.
Oh gosh. Oh, I'm going to screenshot it. So here are the 2 things that she is having issue with. Let's just start now. She says, we're going to our mother-in-law's for Thanksgiving this Thursday. Super small. It's a super small area. She says the house is small and there are going to be 8 of us there for dinner. And then my daughter and infant nephew. Here's where shit gets real. Here's where I'm going to give you a trigger alert because this is messed up. She says, my brother-in-law just got out of prison. Oh, I'm sorry. My mother-in-law's brother-in-law. That's a lot. Just got out of prison. He did over 10 years for doing bad things to children. Oh my God.
We need for me to be able to use to see me.
I'm imagining you're shocked. Like, where did this turn? We just thought the baby didn't like the grandma, but no. Well, here's the issue. She says, he lives across the street now from my mother-in-law. She says, I've never met him and I've never wanted to. And I've made it very clear that neither will my daughter. But I found out today that my mother-in-law wants to invite him not to Thanksgiving dinner, but to Thanksgiving dessert, you know, where everybody gets a different pie or whatever. And she would like to invite she says, the mother-in-law says he's rehabilitated. He's gone to prison. You have to be fair. He paid his debt to society. But she says, no, I don't want to. Now she doesn't want to go to Thanksgiving at all.
To this person, you know, first of all, I think kids are really intuitive and kids can sense energy really well. So if they're not comfortable with somebody, I think we honor that, right? If her child is always screaming and unhappy, the kid's trying to say something, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that that's always going to be the way, but
I feel like this woman is rotten to the core if a baby comes out and hates him forever. Right? That's weird.
The baby's sensing something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we honor that, right? We're here to protect our kids. And this is where you start teaching kids boundaries at a young age. So often we're in situations where we push our kids to be like, it's fine. It's your grandma or it's your aunt or it's this. And we are making them engage in a behavior that they're telling us they want to, even like a hug goodbye. It's okay for them not to do that. Like that's a healthy boundary for kids to learn. And so honoring her baby of screaming, we can start there, not even to the brother-in-law situation yet. But that's the foundation for teaching your kid, okay, I hear you. I respect your boundary.
Which is so funny to hear you say that because you and I, Misty, are about the same age. And I know I come from a family where it would have been like, you're going to hug. I had some weird sons of bitches in my family, like, especially on my dad's side. I'm talking about like, ew. Okay. So this letter that this woman wrote in, this could technically be from my family. But what I'm saying, well, not really. I mean, I don't know. I had an Uncle Herman who was fucking weird. So I think that, oh, see, I lost track of where I was going, Steph. I did it again.
Uncle Herman. Should we What if I hit remove from stage and then I come back? Would that be okay? So I'm not frozen and we can actually have a real conversation.
I was just going to put random pictures of you up, like doing things. Okay, leave it, remove yourself, and then come back. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you
now
hear me?
It's like completely black. Now you done messed it up bad. I don't know. I guess now I don't even get to stare at your frozen face. I get to stare at blackness.
What if I try and join from another place and then we can cancel the other
All right.
one?
All right. Where are you? You're like floating in the universe. Oh, Misty G.
Oh, how's that?
Wait. Oh, you don't sound good.
Let me switch my headphones over.
Okay, now it's perfect. Wait, where did you go?
Hold on. Let me turn this computer off.
We did it, Misty.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can
Cell
totally
phone
hear
for the
you.
win.
Okay. Turn it sideways for me. Yeah. Zing. Because the other day I talked to somebody and it wasn't, it was turned the other way. And I'm like, God dang it. That looks like shars. Look at that. That looks like there's a degree on the wall. Shit, Misty, let's use that.
How's that? There we go.
Okay.
It's good.
Now we're good. I'm going to edit this shit together. It's going to be flawless. Okay. So keeping in mind, so you're saying with the first issue, absolutely not. Like,
well, so I didn't even
finish
the first issue, I guess. Like, I just said honor the kid not wanting to be held by somebody that they don't feel comfortable with. But if we go to the brother-in-law,
I feel like your sound is not good.
Okay.
Let me recap, okay? Just to reset. Okay. Okay, so she has the first issue, which is she doesn't want to go to Thanksgiving, which you and I are both in agreement. And it looks like everybody who commented also in agreement that it's okay for you to say, no, I don't want to be there. I don't want my child around that. Even if the rest of the family is saying, you're overreacting again. He served a decade in prison. He's reformed, where he's part of the family. And I was saying to you earlier, like, yeah, we come from a generation where it was like, you just kind of, you knew they were weird, but you still showed up. And I'm happy now that that's different. And it's okay 100%. To be like, yeah.
100%. And her setting that boundary, it doesn't matter how anybody else responds, right? A lot of times people are going to respond negatively because they take it as a slight to them. And it's self-care for you. You're protecting you. You're protecting your family. It doesn't matter how anybody else responds to a boundary you set by saying no.
Now,
like, you're doing it for yourself.
Are you ready for problem number 2?
Oh, there's more.
Okay. There's a second problem. Remember, she had 2 problems. That was number 1. The second thing, she says, keeping in mind that he now lives across the street from grandma. Even though the daughter always got sketch vibes from the grandma, it sounds like from the time she came out of the womb, she was hating this woman. And so she's never really been close. Now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she says she wants to take my daughter. And maybe they'll go for walks, she says. She wanted to come pick my daughter up the other day to go for a walk. I've never really felt comfortable, she says, obviously letting my mother-in-law take her. I later found out she wanted to take her for a walk by the dude's house so the dude could say hi. Shit. There's going to be a lot of stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of stuff like this that comes up because Thanksgiving is almost here and people, all families have problems. But she said now it's not even just Thanksgiving. I do not want a relationship with grandma. I think she way overstepped the boundary. And I think that her doing it in such like a sly way, like
Yeah.
that's a really shade way of doing, like all of a sudden I'm going to pick up my grandkid who I've never picked up because, you know, I think that's really weird and sketchy. So do you think it's okay? Because now the family, her husband's family, is even in more of an uproar because they feel that she's in the wrong. She feels like she's fighting this battle on her own. She said, "What would you guys do? Am I right for feeling this way?" Which Stephanie will tell you that it's okay to feel any way you want to feel.
100%.
Okay.
You took my words out of my mouth, Sadie.
Because Stephanie has told me that many times while crying. Me crying, she's not the crier. But it's okay to feel that way. But what do you do if your spouse? Because it also kind of sounds like in the tone of this, there's a spouse issue. Like he's not really wanting to get involved. And I think that's a big deal.
Well, Sadie, since you used my words for feelings, I'm going to say the words I could see you using for this spouse is that they're being a puss.
Oh, I do love saying that. I say, Stephanie will say, "Do you want to get a before workout?" I am a puss. She doesn't even say that to me because she knows that would just be wasted. I wouldn't even respond to such things. Go ahead.
No, but I think that is a question, right? We can try and read between the lines, but how is the spouse responding? And it's completely okay for her to still say no, even for the grandma wanting to take a walk and stand her ground. Like that is okay. It is okay to say no, family or not. I'm curious more so on how her husband or her partner is responding because it's his family. And
I think like most guys, just from because the full letter is posted at Sadie and Friends on the Facebook pages where you can read the entire letter. And so I'm kind of picking through, but it sounds like the husband isn't, you know, backing the mother-in-law. He's not backing his wife. He's just like, "Come on, everybody, it's one day." And to me, that's like definitely not backing your wife.
no, if you're like, "Come on, everyone, it's just one day, it's just family," that's dismissing his wife's concerns. That is backing his mom.
That is backing his mom.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
100%.
like saying I back you. It's just by throwing your hands up. Do you find, I kind of find that a lot of dudes do that. It's a lot of women who have the gut situations where they're like, huh. And guys are a lot more like, let's just keep the peace. Let's just make it through the day. He can come and have dessert. We can leave. I just think you got to cut it off. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Totally. And as much as guys more so are shown as being okay with conflict in the media, that's more shown in a physical manner, you know, fighting and things like that. I have come to realize they don't like conflict, especially when it comes to words. And this is a discussion, this is emotions, and they're going to throw their hands up and not engage in that.
So you think she should divorce him?
I mean, we just went from A to Z.
Listen, she doesn't have a lot of time. She's writing into us for advice. She's clearly a desperate woman.
They have more to discuss, but I would say if it comes down and it's her and her daughter not going to Thanksgiving and everyone else is, that's okay and that's fine. Her and her partner are going to have more to discuss after that.
Yeah, that's going to be like seen as a major betrayal. And I'm just sending a warning out to the husband. If for some reason he does hear this, you're in the danger zone, brother. Like once you cross this path of, you know, kind of being like not defending, I think innately women, it's like built into us where we want to be with a man that defends us and backs us. And that's attractive. That's like a built-in mechanism, I think, for every woman. And so I think when you throw your hands up in the air, then Stephanie, what are you? You're a puss.
You're a puss. Perfect word. And you know what? Also, just going off of that, once you're in some sort of serious relationship, this one, it sounds like marriage, that is your priority. It's no longer your parents. Like before, your parents are your priority. And I get wanting to have them, you know, as the one you side with decisions, if that's how you go. But once you have another family of your own kids, your own partner, your parents are secondary. And that's a healthy way of how it should become, is you and your core family of spouse and kids should become first. And it sounds like he's struggling with that a little, and they're not first.
And don't you think that that is something that is not talked about enough prior to marriage?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like your bread and butter, right? Like people who just they don't communicate these things, and then they get into the
Yeah.
situations of, you know, you
It can cause a
married
lot of tension
a
in
puss
marriage, right?
puss.
You're prioritizing your family over me. I'm your family now, and you're being a puss puss by siding with your mom, and you're an adult now. You need to man up.
Let's have t-shirts made that say you're a puss puss, you're an adult, man up.
It always comes back to the t-shirt. Like fucking Judy.
Fucking Judy. Okay, so we're saying no, listen. She is in the right for feeling
Yes,
this way. She is in
100%.
the
It's
right
okay.
for
She is
and
okay for feeling that way.
again, I think the husband, the only thing that's smart that he could do is back her. He's got to
Yeah.
back her. He really does. He does. Even if creepy dude is coming for dessert, you just can't go. You can't and don't even try that thing where you're like, hey, we'll go to dinner and then we'll leave before dessert and then he can
Nope.
come to dessert. That never works.
Nope.
There's always a mishap. And seeing how sneaky this mother-in-law is, odds are she'd be like, be here at 6. And she'd be throwing out the times where, oh my goodness, now you get to be around this kid. And also, why is she so weird about introducing this kid? It has to be a generational thing where it's like, get over it. Are you holding the camera up?
I am holding it because before it was too far away.
I have to tell you, your arm strength is ungodly.
I mean, it's literally just my elbows on the table holding
Just
the phone
put
up.
it down. Just put it down. It's okay.
But then you said the audio was bad.
No, it's fine. I feel bad. My God, this is like the longest arm extender exercise in the world. Okay, let's hear some of the comments of what people put on the Sadie and Friends Facebook page, which again, I like to put every week. I put up the new problem a week before, so you have time to kind of think about it. Sharon says, I pray your husband supports your feelings. Your apprehension is justified. Stay away, protect the littles. God's gift, precious little ones. She continues on with that. Listen to your voice. Prayers to you. Damn, Sharon has got like a list of really positive things to tell to people. Now, Vicky wrote a lot, so I'm not going to read everything that Vicky said because she had a lot of questions. Like, is this her brother-in-law, her son? She should go back and reread it. She says, your daughter doesn't like to be around her. This has been going on for 2 years. So many questions, so many red flags. There's a reason why your child has always felt this way, which that again blows my mind that from birth,
Yep.
she hated this woman.
Yep.
Whoops. And then Judy jumps to, child molestation, which it sounds like allegedly why this guy went to jail. Nancy says, trust your child's instincts. And Lee says, your responsibility is to your child, period. Who cares if it hurts the rest of the family? Let her know why you don't feel comfortable there or leaving your child there. It goes on and on where people have some really good advice here. So if you don't like what I'm saying or what Dr. G, Misty Gemstone is saying, then you can go and read all the comments that are on the Facebook post for today's Tell All Tuesday. Stephanie,
I think we were pretty closely aligned too with what they said. The kid's intuitive. The kid had feelings from birth and red flag feelings, and follow your instinct, follow your intuition. It's okay.
The energy, but what I'm saying is the energy coming off of this grandma has got to be rotten energy. If
I
a
want to do
baby
what
hates
is it?
you,
20, is it the 21andMe test?
23andMe?
23andMe, is there something between the mother-in-law and this quote unquote quote brother-in-law? Or is there more there? And you know
Yeah,
what?
but
One
then why
person
would he want to
said,
bring a kid around? Who cares if you're hooking up with
I know.
your
I just
soon?
want to know if there's more.
Yeah.
But what I think one person was saying, and they're like, is it the brother-in-law? Is it the brother? Is it this? It doesn't matter. It could be a neighbor that's not even related to the family. If you're not comfortable with it, you're not comfortable with it. It doesn't matter if it's friends, family, or stranger. It's okay to say no.
Don't do it.
Don't do
Listen
it.
to us. Don't do it. Next week, and I'm going to be posting this next week, the Tell All Tuesday. It's already in. It's in the barrel and it's ready to go. And it is about schwa schwa, something that I don't have to deal with really anymore. It's office drama. It is an office drama problem, which we have yet to have one of those. And so
Sweet.
It's going to be good. Again, I'll be sure to post it. Follow the social media and watch full episodes with bonus content, including pictures of Misty Gemstone. You're going to be blown away. You're going to say, holy God. First of all, half of the recording, she's frozen. But second, the other half, you look great. You got the waves. You're out of town, which thank you so much for still doing this because you're out of town for Thanksgiving.
All good. I am in South Carolina. Yes.
And I said, oh my God, you don't have to do this. Like, enjoy your family. And you're like, no, I brought my laptop. It's
Which
ready to
didn't work.
go.
So I'm on my phone anyways.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. So you could have saved yourself some baggage fee.
So good.
I can hear you, family. Go have fun. Happy Thanksgiving. And for everybody listening, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Again, if you have something that you need help with from a professional, talking to you, all you have to do is send a message on any of the social media pages. Just let me know. Misty,
Sadie,
have such a good holiday.
you too. Don't be a puss.
I'm always a puss. That you know that where that came from, because I always my mom, yeah, no, deep rooted my mom. But when I was on the radio, I always wanted to say pussy. Like that guy's a pussy. And I was not allowed to. I said it one time jokingly, and I did get called in. And we had a good laugh, everybody. But, you know, like I was told you're not allowed to say that. And so I started just saying, you're a puss. And I got away, and they were like, all right, we'll let you do it. It's the dumbest thing. There are no rules. You just make shit up.
You lost the Y and you extended the word and you were golden.
And they didn't even care. Ridiculous nonsense. Thanks for listening. Bye, Misty.
Bye, Sadie.
Bye, Stephanie. That's your real name. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode of Sadie Has No Friends. Be sure to reach out if you have any comments, or maybe you want to just say something about an episode that you thought, maybe you have a question, maybe you want to do Tell All Tuesday and you have an issue that you are dealing with. No matter what it is, all you have to do is just go to our social media, Sadie and Friends, and you can leave me a message. Before I sign off, I just want to thank our incredible sponsors, Christiana Salon Spa. Mention the podcast and you're going to get 20% off your treatment, whether that's your hair or whether that's a massage. Is that a facial? What do you feel like today? What kind of day has it been? Because let me tell you, today for me, it's been a hot stone massage day. So I will call Christiana Salon and Spa. Just go to christianasalonspa.com. And again, mention the podcast for 20% off. Also, big thank you to Casey's Pest Control Services. That's Casey'sPestControlServices.com for all those creepy crawly things. Ooh.